welcome back. This is Sealchan, and this is my Minecraft Alpha 1.0 progressive Longplay. Today, we're going to review what was accomplished in round 18, and we'll take a look ahead at what is to come in round 19. Since we are here in the mine in Elsie, let's talk about this place first. Alright, in round 18, we took some time to explore one last little side cave in a nearby cavern, which I've called Cavern 2, because I had hopes that maybe we'd have a second cavern system to explore. But alas, and unsurprisingly, that cavern didn't play out. But this one continues to do so. Indeed, in this chamber we still have passages. Excuse me. We still have passages as of yet unexplored. And noisy neighbors. And even the first passage out of here has not yet completely been explored. I'm glancing over at my list. So the cavern expedition will continue here. And currently in the game, there are no other caverns in all 4 districts to look into. Alright, we'll take care of the deep mine later when we can access it in Bellevue. Alright, let's go to home base here. Oh. What did I get? Free arrows, I guess. Alright. Well, in round 18, I went around and removed all the cobblestone around these lengths, and I'm definitely pleased with the outcome. Just a cleaner look. Yeah. We redesigned the well. An X-chicken, I guess. So that we could put clay in a spot. I got away from the random placement of mossy cobblestone and just used it as a feature. And the pillars actually made the well a little bit smaller. Here's where the water flows in. Here's where it flows out. Yeah. We actually completed the clay blocks journey through the game. But I forgot to tell its story, so we'll pick that up in the next round. wooden bridges. It's too bad. Well, Minecraft eventually will give us those planks you can place, or half slabs, or slabs you can place in the upper half of a block, but not in alpha. Okay, so we also began work on our scenic railway. This back. Place torches in a long row all the way around the mountains of Divide. In the next round, we're going to just walk that trail again. Not having built a rail like this before, I'm not entirely sure of all the things that are good to think. Have the rail design itself worked out, and it'll come all the way back here. After all that building, well, it'll take some stages because I have a feeling we're going to have to do a lot of mining. And that's going to present its own challenge. I feel like we'll probably have to actually expand on our exploration for the sake of discovering more mines out of which we can extract iron. The deep mine might be a losing prospect. I may have to switch to stone tools, to stone pickaxes, because let's face it, stone is cheap. Anyway, this is going to be interesting, and if the design is correct, it's going to be a lot of fun to ride this thing. Okay. Well, next round, yeah, we're going to take one more walk along the rail. Try to decide if there's any other considerations about where exactly the track should go. Let's see. Looks like we started on, but did not yet successfully achieve a stack of wheat. I think in the next round, we'll have absolutely no problem achieving that. Yep. Alright, the music is playing. Let's let it play. I'll collect some leather. Sorry if it ruins the mood. this. I think the music's coming back. Okay. One last thing about our home here. This is our kitchen chimney. This is the darkness. This is our living room fireplace. And we have uncovered through recipe research the existence of bricks. My plan is to replace this not very visible chimney, replace the stone with brick. For better or worse, just do it. Maybe on both sides. And yeah, at least it'll make that stand out. I think I'll catch it on the inside as well. Well, maybe just the whole thing, just brick this hole in. Same with this, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe we'll leave one as brick and one as not. Give us something to think about. Since brick has come in so late, I really haven't had an opportunity to work with it. And that's fine. My next game, there's going to be more building, I believe. More opportunities to use brick, and it'll be discovered and available a lot sooner. Alright, I believe that takes care of our home. Let's head out to the port. This is a lovely pond. Oh, here comes a spider. Mobs are tough and fast. Oh my gosh, I just saved. Alright, we're heading to the hunting blind. This is definitely... I wish I could run. Wow. That's all I can say. I am surprised we escaped that creeper. surprised we were able to run around all those mobs. Come here, guys. Whew. Okay. Yeah, at least my armor's not completely gone already. Where did we leave that creeper at? Alright, well, let's just head into the port this way. Since I placed, for the most part, exterior lighting around the port, should be safe from mob spawning. The port extends from up here all the way down to there. I think we also, working all this grass, we achieved a... No, not yet. We have not yet achieved a stack of seeds, so... For some reason, I was under the belief that we had. So, I'll have to change that, I suppose. Or alternately, we could just say, forget about it. And we'll just go straight to the wheat and seed farm, because that would be faster anyway. I'll think about that. So I keep track of all this on a spreadsheet, and mistakes happen. So either this will become a wheat seed farm right away or not. But I am happy to say that we're going to begin our coastline expedition from the Elsie port. We have our clay quarry here. There's my boat. The directions we need to go are along this coastline. And also, of course, here already is the landing at Cascadia. There's really no... We'll take a quick spin around here probably and then just head this way. But I think we're good also to head directly across the water here. Maybe in the future we'll continue a coastline expedition off this way and then off of this way on this continent. At least I assume that's a separate continent. So, lots of exploration by boat, at least on the way back. So yeah, that should be fun. I believe that takes care of the port. Well, all that we have left to talk about are the trails. Here. We placed reeds in areas around the lower lake and at the head of the stream feeding into the upper Mirror Lake. And with that, we've completed all the builds that we're going to add to the Mirror Lakes Loop Trail. So that means in round 19 we're going to just take a nice walk along the trail, taking in the views, appreciating the wildlife. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that in the next round, in fact. Even this little short trail here connects the port to the home. LC port trail. We'll take a walk along of it in a nice, slow, casual way. Examine its various features and just enjoy it. Although we've walked it 100 times. We'll do it deliberately. And let's head towards Bellevue and we'll talk about the other two trails. Okay, here's where the LC Bellevue Trail begins. Although initially it began here. We have completed with the building of these two lakes in round 18. We have completed this entire trail system from our home in LC to the hunting blind in Bellevue. So the LC Bellevue Trail and all its decorative elements is done. So we'll take another trail walk in its own episode to soak it all in, even as we walk it now. Take time at each spot, read the signs. Not like this. Using it as my highway to get from one place to another. Okay, let's stop here. The Estuary Overlook Trail. That point kind of just around the bend there, I believe. We're going to build our third, I guess you could say, attraction. After we built this waterfall and pool coming out of this cavern, we got one more little feature on this trail. It'll be built down there. It's actually another entrance to the LC mine. And I think we'll probably build a staircase and a path and a sign that says as much. So that's on deck for round 19. And that sums up everything in LC. So let's head to Bellevue. Let's actually head down to the deep mine. And that will actually take care of everything in LC. I continue to be very satisfied with having added this entrance here. It was worth the effort. Alright, you ready? Here we go. It does not get old. Okay. I built this mob dark spawning room. This does not seem to be as effective in alpha as it has been for me in the release version. And that's fine. Sometimes it works. I put in little dirt pads in there because that's a good way to hear a creeper. You know that you've got something in there. We, of course, besides doing another round of strip mining down here, a tiny bit more expansion on the slime garden. Seems to be pretty quiet here. But using a suggestion given by one of my longtime viewers, don't kill the slimes with an iron sword, use something weaker. That helps me get more of the small slimes and more of the where does this go? Huh. Oh yeah, another cavern that I guess must have finished off. Anyway, I was able to achieve a stack of slime balls. Where am I? Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the way out. And of course I also finished the story of slime balls because there's not anything you can do with slime balls. And in case you're wondering, this is a rose that spawned here. I did not place that. I should call this red flower mine. Alright. As I mentioned, deep mine. We're still on a search for diamonds. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, we don't keep our diamonds down here. I think we have 15 or 22, something like that. So we have a ways to go. As I mentioned previously, I might start using stone tools. Why not? I need to preserve my iron. And maybe in doing that, I won't have to find another cavern. I'll just rely on my iron production from this mine. I have to clear out all these walls around these pools and everything down here. I've got plenty of strip mining potential left in this place. Alright, that completely concludes my discussion of Elsie and its development. I don't know if I'm going to bother with fleshing this out. I'll think about it. Alright, get to the top here. I gotta scroll my list and we'll start talking about Bellevue. Day is almost done. Excuse me one moment. Okay. I do like my second monitor. Well, let's head to the fort. Ooh. There's a lot of pig. I guess I feel like doing some grocery shopping. Just a little too convenient, I guess. Guess I'll leave that one, those two left to tell the tale. I don't think I've thought much about those flowers, but those are also natural world gen. Alright, well. As with the other port, we worked on exterior lighting here. Not really too much to add. Just a couple lamps. This is the first place to achieve stack of seeds, so we've got our wheat crop planted out. In round 18 and round 19 we'll harvest this and expand it even further. This place is not too big. Yeah, he's on the outside, that's good. I think I've mastered the art of protecting the crops. Of course, we did our coastline expedition. Of course, some mob has come by and knocked my boat. We did this way, because this is a big, huge sea. And somewhere to the north has a narrow opening. But over here, there's a very tiny gap between this sea and the next. So we spent some time exploring off in that direction. And we'll continue. I think we made our 2 outbound journeys on this side of this ocean, and we'll go this way, basically following this land around that direction. So there's more to come. That might put the end to our expedition here, those next 2 sections. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to keep track a little better. Anyway, if we have nothing left else to do here, I might try going all the way out to 2 blocks and going that way, because I would like to see if this actually wraps around and comes back to Bellevue. So, yeah. Alright, let's see what's next. Everything else here in Bellevue is working on trails. Let's just climb the lighthouse and talk. I don't want to really go out there at night. If I can manage it. Just not getting the mojo. There we go. Okay. I'll use your imagination and memory. I could just see a Mount Cabral. We can see the lights of the bridges around the lake, Deer Lake. We have, what did we do? And we just walked that trail to see if we could add anything to it. And I came up with one additional project, kind of a spur trail with a loop in it. Which I think I'm going to call the 2 Bridges Trail. So what it does is it takes you on a walk that lets you take a look at two natural bridges, which actually have trails running over the top of them, so you get a pretty good view of those natural bridges from many vantage points. It's quite the scenic area in that terms. Also, we went out on the Bellevue Mountain Trail and built a sign pointing to a junction between the trail that heads up to the top of the mountain and the jump-off trail. Just noting the junction, giving direction. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my list. We will be doing a short walk on that jump-off trail that heads from the slopes of the mountain to the edge of the water to see if we can do anything to augment it. I'm sure there'll be one thing at least. Looks like a fun place to go and jump into the water. Maybe we need a path to get back up. And, let's see. Next, last round we also walked on the Red Flower Cave Trail, which you can't see here. It's an interesting cave at the base of this mountain, overlooking a lava fall, a single red rose, and kind of a fissure with a pool at the bottom. We decided there wasn't really any need to add anything to that trail. It's already quite scenic, amazingly so, and very short. So in the next round we'll just take a very brief walk, admiring the many, many natural features to be found on that very, very short trail. So, yeah. I mean, I consider this area here to have been very plain, and it's interesting just how scenic it gets just a little further away. If we did a before and after look, I think, I don't know. Anyway, I think half the appreciation for the beauty of Minecraft-generated worlds is in our imagination. I'm happy. Alright, well, last but not least on this Bellevue Mountains Trail, which just does this long loop and comes all the way back, is that we're going to build a viewing platform on the very top of Mount Cabral. I might need to double check that we have the height, but yeah. So we'll do that. Oh, and with the light, I can still see Edgewood Mountain, I think right over here. Mount Cabral and our trail that will run all the way around. So we've got a lot of work to do. And it's going to be quite some trail walk. Yeah, to be honest. That spider sure sounds close. But since they can't climb, I don't think we need to worry about it. And that's it for Bellevue. Hopefully that'll deactivate that spider. So I guess we should head to Cascadia next. Well, actually, I'll take a scenic route. Even if I didn't bother to walk out on the Bellevue Mountain Trail. Yeah, I don't think we have to go to every spot. Alright, we'll go out this way. Maybe we'll just do divide first. Alright, this trail connecting Bellevue and Divide has quite a bit to it as well. In the last round, we add a simple viewpoint that looks back over where we're walking now and down to what I call Lower Creek. I could put more lava in here. I think maybe I should. I'm going to write that down. I've talked about this before, but it's kind of bald areas, you know, where you have grass but then stone pops out. It really is suggestive to me of volcanic activity. And we can fill in all these spaces with lava. Because doesn't that look like a lava flow? If you imagine this was, well, basalt's not the right thing, but yeah, it really does. And it would be perfect here. This is almost like a small, I mean, it should go down here, but this is almost like a small lava cone. Lava freely emerged sometime in the distant past. Alright, well now we're in Divide. We'll just walk this trail, why not? Here's our new viewpoint. Now somewhere up here, hopefully I have a torch. Yeah, we do. We're going to build another viewpoint. And what it's going to look at, I could see more lava. That'd be cool. It's going to look at our at least one fall waterfall. So this is going to be a little bit of a project. I have to give it some thought. Maybe this will even be a pond. I mean, I just thought this would be a great place to have a waterfall right here. Maybe here. Yeah, we might just have to take this whole place seriously. Lava seeps, waterfalls, a pool. The more I look at this, the more I think that. So maybe we'll build the viewpoint. But we're going to add a whole bunch of stuff here. I don't think it'll be too much work, but you never know until you get started. Let me write that down. Okay, yeah, just get this whole place fleshed out. Alright, let's take the scenic walk over to the chasm area. Divide's all about constructing trails. And we have quite a bit of work here, as well as the Bellevue Mountains. We're building some additional trails and many features along the way. I Okay, since we're here, let me try something. Excuse me. Alright, let's intrude a little bit with the F3 menu, which is not yet F3. My FPS is fine, obviously. The coordinates I wanted to look at. So the clouds come in at about y equals 107. And I believe that's the same for Mount Cabral. So that tells me that I think we have up to 128. Which means I think in the top of the mountain we have plenty of room for a viewing platform. At least enough. About 20 blocks, so. Alright, good to know. Let me turn this off. Oh, there's a shortcut. Okay. Let me review the list here. Well, you might barely be able to see the Upper Chasm Trail. It winds its way along through here. We added our viewing platform. Might be fun to stay the night there. Just watch all the darkness and all the features. We'll probably do that on our trail walk. We also added this falls and a creek that ran down to the existing pool around 18. Okay, let's head down there. Well, sometimes the music comes at what we might think is an inconvenient time. And perhaps it was. But sometimes we need a break most when we feel it to be the most inconvenient to do so. What I wanted to mention is that in the next round, we're going to build a creek that comes through here. This is naturally generated, so what really spoke to me is being a place for water. This water is going to end up flowing down into this short cavern. So, we'll also do a trail walk along the Upper Chasm Trail. And yeah, I think that rounds it out for round 19. Yeah. As part of Cascadia, we could talk about this. Maybe it'd be good to get back in the viewing platform. Alright, so over here, what I've kind of called Creeper Gap. I've put up a sign saying as much. We built a border sign in the last round. And in the process of building it, I set off a creeper. So we had to repair that. But I believe that would conclude the Cascadia length of the Cascadia Divide Trail. Oh, yeah, we're still going to build Staircase Creek. So we're not quite at the point of doing a trail walk. Yeah, so anyway, that project work is done. The last place for us to go to is the port, so got our bow ready, got our sword. Let's see if we can get there. What is that? Oh, a spider. That's not good. Maybe I'll just use some arrows. Okay. An unusually high number of creepers seem to spawn around here. I might actually head back to Elsie to get that boat. Alright, I'm just going for it. We have a little bit of torchlight here, which is of our track or railway planning. Still, it's quite hazardous. I'm not even going to turn around. Okay. So down to the port, I'll take a boat by the relatively safe waters. Oh, creeper. A little too confident about crossing from the home to the port. I almost feel like I want to light this up more. I don't know. Maybe I should just keep it that way. Keeps me on my toes, so to speak. Okay, let's get that boat. And we'll head out to Cascadia Port. Again, I'm grateful for these reed lamps. Makes it a lot easier to navigate through here at night. Okay, let's see if I can get out. Alright, great. Alright, well, this is simple. Looks like I forgot to write down one thing. We did achieve our stack of seeds here. And as you can see, we must have left in a hurry, and the ground's still recovering from that work. We're going to be able to convert this seed farm into a wheat and seed farm in round 19. And we went on our coastal expedition. Following this coastline, I think we went our second journey, and we have other continents that come close together out that way. So we may do additional journeys, we'll see. This coastline may belong to Elsie, so I don't know. I'll just play with it. I forgot to write down coastal expedition for round 19. Excuse me. Alright, yeah, so wheat farm, more coastal expedition. We did the exterior lighting. Oh no, we're going to do the exterior lighting here. This has been pretty safe, but we'll just kind of ensure that it's nice to come home to a safe port. And of course afterwards we'll do our research, just like we've completed our research now. and see where we stand. Well, I hope if you watched this whole video that you've been appreciative of the work that's been done. It's slow, but I love it. And we really know this place. We've explored so much of it. It feels like home. And whenever we walk outside those boundaries, it feels like a whole new world. Indeed, I think this style of play could easily be converted into a forever format. But I hear the later versions and even the mods calling to me, so as I've said, this game will have an end. But not before our work is done, at least in those spaces that we've carved out to develop. Anyway, thank you again to all my viewers. The channel's been doing great. It slowed down a little over the holidays, but I see it's picking up again. I have no complaints. Keep watching. Let me know from time to time if you're enjoying. And I hope to see you as we start a new round, round 19. Take care.